Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Russell Brunson, and welcome to the Marketing Secrets Podcast. Saturday, and getting ready for the big Funnel Hacking Live event. So the big question is this: how are entrepreneurs like us, who didn't cheat and take on venture capital, who are spending money from our own pockets, how do we market in a way that lets us get our products and our services and the things that we believe in out to the world, and yet still remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Russell Brunson, and welcome to Marketing Secrets. Hey everyone, just wanted to jump on. I know that this last week and the next week I've been working so much on presentations and slides and getting ready for Funnel Hacking Live. I haven't done many podcasts and just wanted to kind of communicate and connect with everybody because I'm thinking about you a lot. Just so much stuff happening, and anyway, there's a lot that goes into events, from the venue, the people, the speakers, there's so much stuff, the organization, the schedule, the timing, there's everything. And so, for the last 6 months or so, I've been spending time doing everything else. And then now it's like, it was 2 weeks away last week. Now we're about 10 days away as of right now. And so for me, it was like, hey, it's the last 2 weeks, it's all about, I need to get my presentations done. And it's interesting, I don't know, it's weird. Most people who do their own events nowadays, they don't speak very much at their own events, which is weird to me. It doesn't quite make sense, but that's what people do. A couple ones went this year, and they were great events. Nothing against that, just the promoter didn't speak as much. I know I went to Ryan Rand's event, which was really, really neat. And I asked him, I'm like, so you nervous? What are you speaking about? He's like, oh, I don't speak in my own presentations. I was like, oh, you don't? And he's like, yeah, my event, I like to bring people in, and then I let them speak. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I was at Grant Cardone's event, and he came and didn't speak hardly at all either. And I was like, man, I would die for, if I had stage like Grant Cardone's, I would have been on stage, 20 hours a day, every single day, just leveraging that, because that's such an important thing, you know what I mean? And then, if you look at just different ones, I don't know, but for me, it's I feel like, I know that when, and traffic conversion, when it first came out, I used to go because I loved hearing Ryan and Perry speak. And both those guys are geniuses, and I love hearing from them. And as traffic conversion grew, they started speaking less and less and less. Now I think the last TNC had 50, 60 speakers, and they maybe spoke once each, and it's just it's not worth me going anymore, because I wanted to hear from them, right? I look at people who've got tons of longevity, some like Tony Robbins, when he does his events, he's on stage for 50 hours in a weekend, right? And I just I feel I don't know, I always want to be there. I want to be the one inside of it. And so because of that, for this event, I've got 6 presentations I'm creating. And of course, I'm not someone who can just make I don't just want to go off the top of my head. I want to make these impactful and emotional and strong. So every presentation, the design I'm spending on each one is just, that alone is amazing. And figuring out, and the last podcast I talked about figuring out the hook and the headline and the framework. And it's been a week of me just doing that on these 6 presentations. I'm only about halfway through other frameworks, which is sad, because I was trying to get it all done this week, so next week I can work on slides. But as I was doing this, I was trying to think, and I've been talking to a lot of people on my team, people at the event, a lot of people, and just trying to figure things out. And I think the reason why I've been successful, so I'm saying this for people who are creating courses or content or products or events or slides or presentations or anything, because I think it's a hint, and I hope that it helps, because that's the whole point of why I want to jump on here is, I wish you guys knew how much time I spend trying to figure out how to simplify concepts. I think the biggest thing that keeps people back from success when they're presenting is techno babble. If you've read the Expert Seekers book, I talk about techno babble, right? We use these huge vocabularies. My vocabulary is very simple. It's very easy, and I'm always trying to simplify. If you look at these standing whiteboards here and here, those who are watching, and here and here, and this is, and then I've got papers all over the ground here. This is me taking a concept and mapping it, writing it out, writing it again and again and again, trying to simplify it so it's so simple that I can explain it to my kids, or so simple I can understand it. And I don't think people spend the time. If you knew, it's Saturday night at 6:24 p.m. I'm sitting here trying to simplify this one section of the presentation, because it's it needs to be so simple people can understand it. I think that instead we think that we're so smart, and we use our technobabble and our learning to show how intelligent we are, but all it does is it alienates the audience and pushes them away from you. And so I think That's one of my superpowers, but it's not something that like is just magical. It's me sitting here for 10 hours trying to figure out one presentation, how to simplify it, make it simpler and simpler and simpler till it's simple. And so for all of you guys who are out there, like, I'd spend more time on that. Try to simplify things. Simplify your vocabulary. Pull the big words out and pull the complex things out. See if you can explain what you're doing in a doodle graph. If you can't, then it's too complex. And some of you guys are like, well, mine's I couldn't do that mine in a doodle graph. Like, no, you could. Like when we did a thing in a network marketing program a while ago, and they wanted me to do a video explaining the comp plan, and it was way over my head anyway, right? So I had John on my team go through, and he watched like, I don't know, it was like 12 plus hours of video of people explaining the comp plan from the lawyers and the marketers, all sorts of stuff. And he went through and he tried to explain it to me. It took like 4 or 5 hours to explain it to me. And then I had all the thing on a whiteboard, and I was like, okay, how to make this simple. And it took me another 2 or 3 days to simplify to the point where it was just like, oh, that's really, really easy. And so I just want to, I don't know, for you guys who are, and this is kind of to the audience who's presenting and experts and things like that, like first off, continue to publish your stuff. Like that's one big key I want to put out there. Like, I don't know, your longevity of you as a person, as a personality, I think has to do with like how much time you put out there. Now, a tangent on that, like I'm very strategic. Like in my events, I spend a lot of time on people coming there. I don't speak in many other people's events anymore because I also don't want to be the guy who's at every single event speaking, because you lose your supply and demand type thing there. But my own event, I want to be the one there. I want to make it so that this is a venue that people come to, and that they're going to come because like I'm going to hear 6 whole new presentations from Russell that I've never heard before, that he's never talked about on podcasts. It's just like this unique thing, and I want to give that experience to people. And so I think for your own things, like do that kind of stuff, like be willing to do it. And second is simplify things as much as you can. And then third is like, I don't know how to teach this, but how do you like try to make things sexy? Like I could have said like, this presentation is how to get traffic to your website, or how to increase your social media profiling or whatever. But instead we made it sexy. And I read these headlines to you guys during last event, like conversation domination, how to get your dream clients addictively binge watching you on every platform that they live on. Warning, this aggressive approach is only for those who truly believe in their message. You look at that and you're like, okay, that's a cool headline, Russell. But like we sat here for like 3 hours going back and like trying to make it easier. So for you, like you got to put the time in to simplify your message and to make it sexy and figure out the hook. Like spend time doing that. I wish you guys could all get a glimpse at how much time I spend on that part of it, because I don't think people understand that. They just like put something together and go out there. And it's like, no, that's the valuable part. That's what makes you valuable to your audience, is your ability to go through and collect information, ideas, and things like that. I did a podcast before about how your job is to think for a lot of other people. Like you're doing that and then bringing it back to somebody in a simple format. They're like, oh, cool, I could actually do that, right? So that's what your job is to do. You're curating all this stuff and then bring it back in the most simple form possible to give it to people. But you got to spend the time doing that. You got to put in the energy, the effort to think through those things for them, simplify them, and give them in a way that they can do it. Again, I don't know how to teach that other than I want you to be aware of how much time I spend doing it, because then you might realize like, oh, well, I don't spend any time doing that. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I should spend a Saturday here in my sweats in my office just thinking through how to simplify this for people. Because it's meant the world to me, and I think it's helped me to build an audience and get followers and people listening to me, because I've been good at that. So I hope it helps. I don't know. I'm not the best in the world. I still talk too fast. I mumble. I have all sorts of quirks and things that are strange. I know some people don't like me at all, which is totally cool. That's one thing I've been good at, and it's helped a lot of people. And so look at my books, .com Secrets, Expert Secrets. They're not my original ideas. It's me reading a billion things, trying a bunch of stuff, and then putting it into a format that's as simple as possible. And that's why I doodle things out. Like I'm trying to doodle so you can be like, oh, there's the doodle. Oh, that's what he's thinking. And so for you, it's just figuring out, simplify, cut out the techno babble, make things sexy, make things interesting, spend that extra time to do that, because it's worth it. Okay, and if I can do that for 6 presentations in a 2-week period of time, and that's doing it for all of them, plus then creating slides for all of them, on top of everything else I'm doing for this event, I guarantee you can do it with one presentation, or with your perfect webinar you're doing. I'm guessing a lot of times if your webinars aren't converting, it's because you're too complex. Simplify the story, simplify the process, simplify those things for people so they get it. Make them sexy, make the hooks good, make it intriguing and curiosity driven, because those are the keys. So anyway, that's it, you guys. I'm going to get back to work. I got to make this thing sexy and simplify it. So hopefully sometime today I can go take a nap. All right, appreciate you guys all. For those who come to Fun Hacking Live, I cannot wait to see you. It's going to be amazing, and hopefully this event will change your business, but more importantly, I want to change your life. So I'll see you guys there. Bye, everybody. Want more marketing secrets? If so, then go get your copies of my 2 best-selling books. Book number 1 is called Expert Secrets, and you can get a free copy at expertsecrets.com. And book number 2 is called .com Secrets, and you can get your free copy at .comsecrets.com. Inside these 2 books, you'll find my top 35 secrets that we've used to become the fastest growing non-VC-backed SaaS startup company in the world.